My name is Johan, and this is the guitar I built from scratch. I'd like to show you how, and I'll try to keep it short, but this has been a huge part of my life, and there are so many cool things worth sharing. It may take me a few minutes to do it. I had the idea for this crazy personal project in high school, and it became an awesome growing experience for me as I continued to work on it over the next year and a half. The inspiration came from the two most popular guitar styles. I took the electronics and layout of a Les Paul and merged them with the neck and scale length of a Strat to get the best of both worlds. I designed my own shape on Photoshop with a curves tool, trying to make each edge transition into the next to make a shape I really thought was beautiful. After some extensive research on woods, I got some koa, monkey pod, wenge, and mahogany from a local carpenter here in Hawaii who gave me a job sanding to pay it all off. With the wood grains down by design, I came with a final blueprint. I had no woodworking experience, but my boss taught me the basics of gluing, sanding, and cutting, and I was on my way. It was crazy for me to see the wood transform as I worked with it for the first time. The initial steps were pretty nerve-wracking, but just seeing my guitar take shape got me just as stoked. When the parts I ordered came, I began to work on the electronics, which I had also never done before. I ripped apart one pickup and split the coils so I could get two sounds from it, and I hired a company online to design a complicated but versatile wiring schematic for me that I followed when I soldered everything together. This guitar would sing in a lot of different tones. The neck took the majority of the time. It had to be perfect in every way. At this point, I'm working in the USC shop freshman year. I had the idea to do this cool diagonal cut so the headstock could match the yellow monkey pod in the body, while the back all looked the same, and it turned out perfectly. The template helped me get the fret slots in the right places, and after I cut them, I glued the fretboard on. The wenge grains seemed to match perfectly, which was a complete accident, but still pretty cool. Over the summer, I learned a technique to make plugs that cover the screws in furniture, which I used to make the fret markers. I shaped the neck by hand and drilled the holes for the tuning heads, and then moved on to hammering in the frets that I radiused and cut from the fret wire myself. My guitar was looking pretty finished. Routing out the cavity for the neck was terrifying, but it was spot on, and after I attached it, installed the hardware, and shaped the nut, I strung up my guitar for the first time, and after a few tweaks and adjustments, it played better than I could have hoped for. The finished project needs to be signed, and there's a laser cutter in my shop at work, so I made a few designs and burned my signature into the headstock. I made this peacock on a koa tree drawing on Photoshop because this guitar is a lot like a peacock with its feathers down. Not too cocky, but still something special. I still have to burn that in and put some finish on the whole guitar. I learned how to do everything through research, mainly through Fletcher handcrafted guitars on YouTube, which has pretty much every step of a Strat build documented on video, but also through a lot of other resources online. My attitude for this project was go big or go home. I wanted to make it one awesome guitar for the first time, and it couldn't have turned out better. It honestly looks exactly how I planned it to, and it sounds better than I could have imagined. I remember the first time I plugged it in, it was like 3 in the morning. I shed a few tears when I heard it sing. I never felt more accomplished in my whole life. People told me to buy like a pre-made neck, I'd screw up or something, but honestly, it feels so crazy to make something like this from scratch and have it blow your mind when you finish it. It's pretty emotional experience, and it turned out like better than I planned to. I love how the different textures of the wood come together and how all the different curves and lines intersect and make these cool shapes. The curves are just so perfect, and it sounds incredible. The two pickups are super different. I can get a Les Paul or Strat sound out of the split coil bridge and the 1920s Charlie Christian, and the neck is so jazzy and clean. It's crazy to look back and see the whole evolution from blueprint to final work. My favorite part about this guitar is just that it's mine and I made it, and there isn't another like it in the whole world. I did it on my own, from scratch, and that's what makes it such an incredible experience.